speaker and 50 memory telephone instrument. Didn't want to work. And the other one that I bought, the second one for $90, was over at the museum, and it took me this long to go to the museum to get it. Thank you, Gregory Washburn. And I got behind on my in-calls, 26 messages. Okay, we're trying to press this. There's the dial tone. Put this on voicemail.
The person at extension 51832860666 is unavailable. Please leave your message after the tone. When password.
It doesn't tell a joke.
You have four
good.
messages. Press 1 for
Down from 26.
messages. Press 2. Change the first message. Received Friday at 11:32 p.m.
Hi, Glendora. Campana. I know it's late. You're in bed. I know I get your answering service 25 minutes to 12. It's very late. Took us back from a nice evening. I talked to Jean before I left, and everything is fine. I'm going to meet her at 12:30 in Springfield. We should be up there a little.
Dick is in Boston.
Probably a quarter to or so, and I'm going to meet Jean and her friend there on exit 5. So everything's fine. I'll see you tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Thanks a lot, Jean. Take care. I mean, Glendora. Thanks now. Bye.
Message deleted. Message 2 received Saturday at 10:36 a.m.
Blank.
Message deleted. Message 3 received Monday at 4:30 p.m. Press 4 for the message deleted. Last message
At last.
received Monday at 5:37 p.m.
Hey, Vesta, it's Dan calling about 5:30 on Monday, and it's getting dark, so I think you better move your car. Thanks. Bye.
Infuriating.
Press 4 for the previous message. Press 3 for advanced options. Press 5 to repeat the current message.
Yeah, let's
Press
do that.
7 to delete this message.
let's repeat
Last
that one.
message received Monday at 5:37 p.m.
Hey, Vesta, it's Dan calling about 5:30 on Monday, and it's getting dark, so I think you better move your car. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, I want to hear that again.
Press 4 for the last message received Monday at 5:37 p.m.
Hey, Vesta, it's Dan calling about 5:30 on Monday, and it's getting dark, so I think you better move your car. Thanks. Bye.
Last message received Monday at 5:37 p.m.
Hey, Vesta, it's Dan calling about 5:30 on Monday, and it's getting dark, so I think you better move your car. Thanks. Bye.
Last message received Monday at 5:37 p.m.
Hey, Vesta, it's Dan calling about 5:30 on Monday, and it's getting dark, so I think you better move your car. Thanks. Bye.
Message deleted. No more messages. Press 4 for the previous message. Press 3 for advanced options. Press 5 to repeat the current goodbye.
Well, 26 phone calls, messages behind. You see, folks, they failed. They've got that part messed up. You see they're coming back. See that? Let me get out here and see if I can see the end of the poison trail. It started here, and he's going straight. Blue Sky Preserver, I know you'll win. I know you will win. Isn't it beautiful? See what they did up there? It's still sticky, but it's not staying. You're looking to the southeast. Look at this. Ha ha! And it's only March 10th. That's where the bathroom is. This cat loves pillows. Schoonover came here at 5:40 a.m. and he wants the cars moved over. And I just closed the door upon that. And he said, if we have a war, nobody wins. And he started to move my things out of the garage. And then he went away. And he knocked on the door again. Let me see if I have it on audio tape. Hold still. Okay.
Press 3 for advanced options. Press 5 to repeat the current message. Sit message 2 received at 3. Barbara,
Barbra Salter.
I will try calling you later.
Okay,
I
thank
will
you.
pick you up tonight.
She will pick me up to go to Linton Bible study.
Yes, Condor, this is Barbara. I called earlier and left a message, but I don't know if you got back to me, if you got the message. Here's another one. It's 10 to 6. Yes, I am going tonight, and yes, I will pick you up. You want to call me back, or else I'll just take a drive by around 6:30, 20 to 7. Okay, bye-bye.
Many thank yous, friend.
Press 7.
He came back, rapped on the door again. I want my piece, my warranty of habitability. And I got him, and he had the box of hot cross buns again. And he said he was sorry for his part in the fight, and he didn't want it to happen. He said, I love you so much. So I took the hot cross buns, he took the things and put them back into the garage. Then I told him to go into my house and I would open and close the door so he could see how much noise it was. Well, that's done finally, and he wants to put a blanket on the door to soften the sound. Somebody had given me a beautiful pen. It was on my desk at the funeral. I don't know who it was, but thank you. And so it's too fine for me. I can't see it. So I gave it to him. And he told me that his mother had a fall and that she fractured her neck. And she's 89 years old.
Love your neighbor as yourself, for God is love. Good, okay. Okay, ready? Here we go. And we'll sing it through 3 times then, okay? Love, 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 the gospel in a word is love. The gospel in a word is love, for God is love. Love, 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 the gospel in a word is love. Love your neighbor as yourself, for God is love. Love, 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 the gospel in a word is love. The gospel in a word is love, for God your neighbor as yourself, for God is love. Nice, yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. So, but like Linda said, he just likes driving his new car.
That's why he went way down to Lakeville last night.
Yeah. Well, he went to do a show, I
Yeah,
guess.
I know, but that's a long ride too.
Oh, yeah.
But he likes driving his new car and listening to his new radio.
Yeah. You don't have your seatbelt on, young lady.
Okay. Stop them, folks. Stop them. This comes from PETA. People. For the ethical treatment of animals. I send them money as much as I can.
Glendora, it's Leslie Dotton calling. I'm sorry I missed your call. I was down at Men's Central Jail. The sheriff finally relented and let us go into the jail and interview Mr. Fine for over an hour on camera. It is really exciting, and I want to tell you about it. But we had to file a lawsuit to get into the jail because the sheriff had held us off for over a year. Anyway, if you could give me a call back at my office, I'm available today to talk with you. And do want to. I got your instructions, and I need some clarifications. There's a couple of your writing I couldn't make out some of the words, and I need to talk with you. And thank you so much for getting ready to start duplicating the DVDs of the programs and get ready to mail them out. So please call me. Again, that's 310-822-4449, Leslie Dutton. And I want to tell you about the interview with Richard Fine. It is wonderful, and I know you're going to be thrilled. And Dan Walters wrote a syndicated column about Mr. Fine yesterday. It's all over the state in a lot of newspapers. If you give me an email address, I'll send it to you. Take care. Hope to talk to you soon. Bye.
Congratulations, Leslie, and I admire you for what you're doing. You have my respect. Thank you so much. Hi there, everybody. Here it is, March 11th, and looky, they're outdoors, videotaping. Isn't that philosophic? What's the longest word in the English language? Smiles. Between the first letter and the last letter is a mile. And Pete was bragging that his father was an exporter. And the new girlfriend says, oh, he must be very rich. And Pete's friend, Buddy, said, well, it's not exactly that. He was an exporter for Amtrak. School bus. The school department here laid off 42 people. John said he's taking up printing professionally. And his buddy says, well, have you sold anything? And John says, yes. My watch, my TV sat in my car. The cats are exhilarated, in and out with the door open. The cruise ship passengers were frenetic. The sea was choppy, and they were afraid they were going to capsize. Hello. What a good kitty. Yes, what a good kitty. And they thought they were all going to die, and so the steward was told by the captain, go out there and say something encouraging to the passengers. And the steward says, I want to encourage you people. He said, we're only 2 miles from land, straight down. Ad in the newspaper. For sale. This is in the classified. For sale. Large crystal vase by lady, slightly cracked. And the scoutmaster said to the scouts, "You see that big cliff over there?" "Yeah." "Well, we're going to climb that next." And the little scout began to shiver and shake. And he says, "Do people fall off of that cliff very often?" And the scoutmaster said, "No, once is usually enough." Another ad in the newspaper, and they're classified. "Umbrella for sale by gentlemen with 3 broken ribs." The bachelor went to the bed store and he says, "I want to buy a mattress." And the clerk says, "A spring mattress?" And the bachelor says, "No, one I can sleep on all year round." The little boy was studying ancient history and he said, "Dad, what's a Grecian urn?" And Dad says, $8 an hour. Is it difficult to be a professor? The student asked. And the professor says, "No, you do it by degrees." And this woman asked this young man, "Why are you so well behaved?" And he said, "It's my father. When I was a little boy and I was well behaved, my father would pat me on the head and give me a penny. And by the time I was 19 years old, I had $100 and a flat head." Hi there, boys and girls. It's time for the SS Glendora After School Happy Show. And you've got a job to do. God has given you a job to do. It's to bring happiness. Bring happiness to your parents and to your friends and to your relatives and to your school pals. Hi, Daisy Dean. Daisy Dean is a blue-eyed husky dog. Belongs to my neighbor. And bring happiness to your teacher and to bring happiness to your Sunday school. That's a special job that God has for you to make you special. And we're going to start off with what? Always with counting blessings. 1, it's sort of like spring. 2, there may not be another snowstorm. 3, we had a grand winter. It was snug and cozy and warm and fun. When we stayed in, we got our work done, and you went out in the snow and played. 3 for the trees, 4 for the grass, 5 for the sunshine, 6 for the blue sky preserver who drove away the poison in the sky yesterday. We get a beautiful blue sky and a blue dome, and along comes these poison aerosol, clouds it all over. The sun is gone, and then that aerosol comes down and makes you sick. 5 for schools, 6 for school buses, 7 for teachers, 8 for books, 9 for learning, 10 for the fun we have at the Scouts, 11 for pets, 12 for friends, 13 for dogs, 14 for our brothers and sisters, 15 for our toys. How about for the computer? Now, those are like your one-time only blessings and your sort of your daily blessings, but then you have your fundamental blessings, and the first one is what? Universe, God. Born. You're born, alive, and you're healthy, and you have food, and you have clothing, and a home, and freedom, and independence. No catastrophes. Finances, education. You're going to grow up for careers. And your parents have a job. So, after we count our blessings, what do? We always have pure thoughts, right? No negative, second level, trivial, or ugly. Always pure thoughts. No negative, second level, trivial, or ugly. And you continue with your call from God to spread happiness. Now, a hymn. Let's try this hymn. All creatures of our God and King, lift up your hearts and let us sing. Alleluia. Thou cows and pigs, leave them alone. The horses, hens, and turkeys too. Just be kind, stop the cruel. One with God, hallelujah, stop the cruel. Help the dogs and help the cats. Help the deer and little fawn. Just be kind, one with God. Feed the animals in the woods. Share with them all your goods. Just be kind, stop the cruel. Hallelujah, one with God, stop the cruel. You be the generation that will stop the cruelty to animals. A letter came in the mail today informing me of hideous experiments on animals at the University of Utah. That's not right. That is not right. So you be the generation to stop things like that. Bible verse, this show, Bible verse is Matthew 13. I think I memorized an outline of Matthew 13. First of all, there's the parable of the sower. And then the disciples asked Jesus, why does he speak in parables? And then he explains the parable of the sower and the seed falling on good ground. You be good ground for the seed to fall on. And then he tells them about the wheat and the tares. The wheat and the tares grow together, but if you pull up the tares, you might pull up the wheat. And this may be the explanation of evil and good. Why don't we have all good and no evil? That may be the explanation. You can't pull up the evil without pulling up the good, maybe. And then Jesus tells him about the mustard seed. How the mustard seed is so tiny, and yet tiny, and yet it grows into one of the biggest herbs, and the birds build their nests in it. And then he tells them about the leaven. The leaven, that's what the kingdom of heaven is like. You know what the kingdom of heaven is? It's having God in your heart. It's the presence of God in you. That's what the kingdom of heaven is. And after he tells them about the leaven, he tells them about again they ask him, why do you speak in parables? And he explains it to them. And then he explains about the wheat and the tares. And then he talks about the hidden treasure, how the kingdom of heaven is like a man who went into a field and he found a treasure that was hidden. So he goes and he takes all the money he has and he buys that field. So he gets that treasure. And then he tells them about the pearl. And then the next thing is about the net. How you cast the net into the sea and all kinds of things come into the net and you pull it out, boys and girls, and you separate the good from the bad. And you keep the good and the bad you put back. And then the next to the last thing in Matthew 13 is, hold it now, I'm going to get it. Next to the last thing in Matthew 13. It's about the household, the man, and he takes out all of his things, and he has the good, and he has the bad. And the last one is that a prophet is without reward in his own land. That's Matthew 13. And we're going to move on to just a second. Is it words? Is that what we do next? Words? the bird, little darling lovebird of Barbara and Walter Slater died last night. They came home around 9 o'clock and he was fine. This morning when they woke up, everything was quiet in the house. They didn't hear the happy bird. It was such a happy bird. They'd had him 10 years and he was older than that because they adopted him from somebody. And he had a good long life, but he was at the bottom of his cage this morning. And if you're going to die, I guess that's the best way to die, isn't it? Die in your sleep. Little lovebird. Abide with me, fast falls evening tide. The darkness deepens, Lord, with us abide. When other helpers fail and comforts flee, help of the helpless, Lord, abide with me. That's for the little birdie who gave so much happiness his whole life. Create. Meditate to create. What are you supposed to be creating, boys and girls? A career. You're supposed to be thinking of a career right now. Young as you are, think of a career. Find the thing that God created you to do better than anybody else can do it. Find out what that is. And if you watch a Chat with Glendora on the YouTube, you'll see hundreds of careers that people came to my house so kindly and shared it with you because they loved you and wanted to help you. So watch the YouTube and you'll see hundreds of careers. The top of the salary people and the top of the successful people. And I think the last thing today is our words. I'll just read them to you because in another section of a Chat with Glendora, I did all the words in the meetings. And the words this month are to make impure by an admixture of foreign and baser substance. Don't do that. Keep it pure. And the next one is adumbral. And that means to give a shadowy representation, to make a vague disclosure. Fudge, in other words. It comes from the Latin word adumbro, which means an umbrella. So it makes it shady. And next is ad valorem, to the value. Ad valorem, to the value. The next one is advance. That's what you want to do. You want to advance. That means to accelerate the pace of the growth of, or it means marked progress. We want to see you advance. And the next one is adventitious. Added extrinsically. Not essentially inherent, acquired, casual. That's another word that is casual. Remember what your job is. Spread happiness. Advance. Accidental. And after advance comes adventure. This will appeal to you. An adventure is a bold undertaking in which hazards are to be met and the outcome hangs on an issue of unforeseen circumstances. Adventurer is a bad word. Adventurer means somebody who seeks preference or position by equivocal means, by preying upon the prejudices of somebody else or the credulity of somebody else. Credulity meaning what you're able to believe. Bad word. But adventurous is undertaking, a willingness to undertake, inclined to embark on hazardous endeavors. The next one is adversary, and that is one turn against another with the design to oppose and defeat. Just get rid of our adversaries. We don't want any adversaries. And adverse means in a contrary direction, like a wind, an adverse wind. Well, I think we covered everything, our words, and this is the SS Glendora After School Happy Show. And what is your job again? Your job again is to spread happiness. Sanctuary. Alone with God. Exception. A time of prayer. This prayer is about God. When we pray, we just pray about ourselves. But let our prayer be to God, about God, and for God. You give us so much, God, I would hesitate to ever ask you for anything more. What can we do to help? The best prayer of all is for each of us to go alone with you the first thing in the morning. Out of my own vitality, out of my own body, I send impetus that we go to God the first thing in the morning and claim the treasure that you have waiting for us. And you have waited so long. And what are you creating today, God? What is on your schedule today? Are you creating a new world where there are no tares, just goodness, nothing but goodness and no evil? Are you creating perfect creatures, perfect people, where the lion lies down with the lamb, where people are no longer cruel to animals and no longer cruel to plants? Are you pleased with your work, God? Is it going the way you want it to go? And if we have the capacity, we want to help. We want to be there in your workshop, creating new glories and new miracles. Amen.
Have one old message. Press 1 for old first message. This message lasts 2 minutes.
Nice
Hi,
answering
Glendora.
service.
Andy Hersman. I've been trying to call you and your mailbox was full.
No, it isn't.
So now leaving another message. I did call
Magic Jack.
Magic Jack and I tried to find out how much it would cost
This is it right here,
for
folks.
the number that you wanted. And they told me that you can only do it with a new Magic Jack, so you'd have to buy a new one and activate it with the number that you wanted. So I don't know if you want to do that.
Yes, I do.
Not that much money, but
Yes, it's going to be 5-1 Glendora.
it's up to you. Anyway, I don't think you understand, what it's like to be me. Many times, I'm just trying to survive, and o'clock the other night, and they wanted me to work at 6 in the morning because they just found out someone called in sick. Which means that even if I went to bed immediately, I'd have to get up at 4 in the morning. So that would give me, what, how many hours of sleep? 10, 11, 12, 6 hours? Yep. And of course you can't just immediately go to bed. Doesn't work that way. So I think I ended up getting 4 hours of sleep and then rushing over to NBC. And I was tired and slept most of the day.
Poor
So,
baby.
yeah, I hope you understand how it is with me. I can't just, give me calls whenever I feel like it. When I'm working, I can't. When I'm on the train, I can't call because the commuters get upset. They yell at you and talking on the phone. Oh, boy. All right, I will try to call you back. Hopefully you can call me and we'll talk in person. I understand you want to come to Long Island.
No, I don't really want to, but
Fine with me. I'd love to see you here, but I do plan on getting up there again very soon. So, all right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Press 3 for advanced options. Press 5 to message deleted. No more messages. Goodbye.
goodbye, thank you. So, why didn't YouTube come up? Okay, let me go back and see what I did wrong. I just go back and start over. Anytime I try to demonstrate on anything TV, that's just what happens. Hi there, everybody. I'm going to videotape for you the first 4 amendments to the Constitution of the United States, your rights. And you must know these rights. We are unfortunately living in the midst of a Rico, a racketeer influence crime organization. That is our government, federal, state, and municipal. What is a Rico? Motive is money. At least 2 predicate acts a year, and they commit thousands. And the use of force and intimidation. That's what's going on now. Most evident is the traffic court, the vehicle and traffic court. First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States. You have 5 rights. What are they? Tell me. Freedom of religion, freedom of press, freedom of speech, freedom to assemble peacefully, and freedom to petition your government for redress of wrong. 5. Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. You can go outdoors in January without a sweater. Third Amendment is that you do not have to house a soldier. Fourth Amendment. You, the right of the people to be secure in your persons, your homes, your effects, your papers, and no unwarranted warrants shall issue against you without oath or affirmation, and without probable cause. Probable cause. And without stating in particularity what is to be searched and what person is to be seized, or what effects are to be seized. Fourth Amendment. Fifth Amendment. Very important. No person shall be held to answer to a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment by a grand jury. Courts bulldoze over that every day, thousands of times all over the country. Nor shall be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb for the same offense. Double jeopardy. Don't go to court twice for the same offense. Nor shall any person be compelled to, in any criminal case, to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. What is due process of law? It's an honest court. It's an honest judge. It's an honest lawyer. It's an honest clerk. Due process of law. Nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Now the Sixth Amendment is just as important. You think you can read that yourself? Let's give it a try. I don't know if it's too dark to be videotaping outdoors or not. It's March the 12th. Can you read that? Speedy trial means 70 days after the arrest. Otherwise, case has to be dismissed. Public means that you can hear it. That means no bench conferences. No chambers conferences. Impartial jury means just that. That's the arraignment. To be confronted with the witness, that means the person who accuses you have to face you eyeball to eyeball. Due process, that's serving the witnesses and making them to come to court and punishing them if they don't. Something you don't understand. Eric Press. And the assistance of counsel does not mean a lawyer, necessarily. Anybody can be your counsel. Sixth Amendment. Seventh Amendment is a darling. It's your right to trial by jury. You have the right to trial by jury. And don't you ever let anybody talk you out of it. You have the right to trial by jury. Eighth Amendment is very important too, folks. It is no excessive fines or bails or cruel or unusual punishment. Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted. We're going to jump to the 14th. Very, very important. Here is the all-important 14th Amendment. All persons, Section 1, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the law. Memorize that. See, the Fifth Amendment, which is about due process of law, applies to the federal government. So the colonists wanted a protection that the states could not deny due process of law. So it states clearly that any person who is a citizen of the United States is a citizen of the state in which he resides, and no citizen of the United States can be deprived of due process of law. Just a couple more things before we leave the Constitution of the United States. The 14th Amendment, Section 3, says that any judge who purges his oath to support the Constitution of the United States is not owed a salary. Section 4 says, nor a pension. So folks, this is March the 11th, and this coming Sunday is the 14th. And the next Sunday is the 21st, and that's spring. And the next Sunday is Palm Sunday. And Jesus comes into Jerusalem, and he's cheered and saluted and praised by the crowd. Great triumph. He goes to the synagogue. He sees these people taking money in the synagogue to sacrifice animals. He's infuriated that God's house of worship is turned into money-making. He's infuriated, as anybody would be. And he kicks over the money tables. I'm going to tell you right now, ahead of time, that those money tables belonged to the Khazars. These Khazars came from Asia and across Eastern Europe. And they got down into Jerusalem, they got into Berlin, and they got here and they got there. Guess who they really are? The Khazars. They're the international bankers. Now, they were not Jewish, but they adopted the Jewish religion. And you have Khazars showing up in Germany with a red shield, a Rothschild. And you have these Khazars, these international bankers, showing up in France and taking over the Bank of France. You have them showing up in England and taking over the Bank of England. And you have them showing up in the United States of America, taking over the money in America and taking away from Congress its privilege to print money. And they are called the Federal Reserve System. Neither federal nor reserve. Not anything to do with federal, but run by private bankers. Jesus upset the international bankers. So Thursday night he's in the Garden of Gethsemane. Peter betrays him, Judas betrays him. He's all night in jail. They all fled. The next morning, with no rest, no food, he goes before Pilate. And Pilate says, and straightway in the morning the chief priests held a consultation with the elders and scribes and the whole council and bound Jesus. Who's pushing them? Who's pushing the elders to do this? The international bankers. Why? Because they have the money. And carried him away. They bound Jesus and carried him away and delivered him to Pilate. What had he ever done? What had he ever done but speak the truth and stand up for God? And Pilate asked him, Art thou the King of the Jews? And he, answering, said unto him, Thou sayest it. And the chief priests accused him of many things, but Jesus answered nothing. And Pilate asked him again, saying, Answerest thou nothing? Behold, how many things they witness against thee. But Jesus said, yet answered nothing. So that Pilate marveled. This is from the book of Mark, St. Mark, chapter 15. Now, at that feast, that would be the Passover, he released unto them one prisoner, whomsoever they desired. And there was one named Barabbas, which lay behind with them, that had made insurrection with him, who had committed murder in the insurrection. And the multitude, crying aloud, began to desire him to do so he had ever done unto them, that is, to release Barabbas. But Pilate answered them, saying, Will ye that I release unto you the King of the Jews? For Pilate knew that the chief priests had delivered him for envy. I would like to say for money. International bankers. But the chief priests moved the people that he should rather release Barabbas unto them. And Pilate answered and said again unto them, What will you then that I shall do unto him whom ye call the King of the Jews? And they cried out again, Crucify him. Then Pilate said unto them, Why? What evil hath he done? And they cried out the more exceedingly, Crucify him. Why? What evil has he done? That question was never answered. I speak to you about the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the Sixth Amendment, and the 14th Amendment. Where is due process of law? He upset the money tables. He got the international bankers mad. And the international bankers do what they always did. waive the money.